study, and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
What is Cafe Mocha? Cafe Mocha is experts, celebrities.
What's up? This is Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yours truly, Idris Elba.
This is Fantasia.
This is Invo.
This is India Ari.
So much more. All from a woman's perspective.
What flavor are you, baby?
This is Cafe Mocha.
Cafe Mocha with Emmy Award-winning talk show host Lonnie Love, West Coast rap diva Yo-Yo. I'm the producer, Angelique. A lot of us started our young lives with more trauma than a kid should have to. Coming up, we're talking to a rapper. Both her parents were drug dealers, and she watched her father get murdered. Yes, this is going to be a serious topic. Mental health in the Black community coming up on Cafe Mocha.
You know, Cafe Mocha is opening up their own chic boutique, and we have our chic boutique person who's going to give us all the deals, tell us all about it. We're so happy to be working with her, Angie Corley. Hey, Angie, how are you?
What's up, Lonnie? Hey, Yo-Yo.
Hey,
Angelique,
Angie.
what's going on? Hey, you know, I'm keeping y'all fresh and keeping you sexy. Are y'all ready for this? Okay,
Yeah,
let's get into it because I got some deals and some goodies. Skincare. Did y'all know as your hormone drops, so does your skin?
Yes.
Hello. We can change your skin overnight. We have a brand new, incredible woman-owned business that's cruelty-free, vegan-free. That is an amazing three-piece set that I have here. And I think Yo-Yo tried it. We'll get into that in a second. But ladies, let me tell you, there is a difference when you have the right skincare that's dermatologist tested, that is soft, that has emollients to keep us supple, keep everything lifted under the eyes, bags, 11, because we're not injecting. We want to keep it right and keep it fresh. Here's a beautiful line. It's Care Beauty. And I'm going to tell you, they take the care into it. There's masks. There's all kind of serums and moisturizers, all 15% off for our watchers. I'm telling you, Chic Boutique is going to be the spot to be. Listen, there's nothing like having something emollient, waking up different than you started, and Care Beauty is about it. The I in Care is for the individual in you. So this is truly a fabulous line. Yo, you tried it. How'd your skin feel? Did it change overnight?
Listen, I went to get a facial. They gave me all these products that I need, and lo and behold, I had Care Beauty at my door. Thank you,
Yes.
Chic Beauty. Thank you,
Okay.
Chic. Right, I am shopping at Cafe Mocha's new shop because the moisturizer. The moisturizer is just what my face needed, and it's so thick.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I was
Yes.
over somewhere else shopping and put it on my skin. I said, "Oh my God, this is it."
Yes. Right?
And
There's a difference.
Yes. Feels
Look,
so
I'm
good.
I want to rub it in.
Listen, I put it on day and night. I use it when I go out. And so it feels so good. I'm going to use the mask tonight. I've been using the drops on my skin because what my skin needs once I turned 40 plus and using all this makeup and then makeup every night. I needed something to moisturize my face. My face was becoming dehydrated. So that moisturizer, listen, and I'm going to do the mask tonight. I don't know if you can look at me now. Look at me now. Oh, fresh.
Look at me now.
Mother.
Hey.
And I know, and I love quality products that really do the work because, you know, they say how sensitive is your skin? Well, my skin can handle a lot. And this is just what my face needs. It needs the hydration. I love the texture of it. I love that it's not greasy, but I could feel the moisture in my skin.
There's a difference, and that's why
older women, Angie, you know, when the estrogen slows down, we need to keep that skincare up to help keep those wrinkles, keep the yes. That's what I'm looking for because I'm like I need to keep the skin on lock. Okay.
You sure do. And this helps keep your estrogen right. So as that starts to drop, this steps up to meet you where we not are, especially formulated for women a little bit older. These are not tested on 20-year-olds who have that baby booty skin. These are real women. Okay.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Linda. If I had one thing that I would recommend to our listeners, it would be that moisturizer. So if you're going to take a pick from me and go shop in Chic Boutique at Cafe Mocha, This is something that I am recommending to our viewers and to our listeners. That one right there is a morning, noon, and night for me.
And that's it. You do it morning, you do it night, whenever you need a little extra moisture. If you travel a lot on planes, I'm telling you, this is a Oprah Beauty winner. Oprah Beauty Award winners. This is skincare for grown-ups. You hear me? Skincare for grown-ups right here. I love it. And here's
I'm gonna get my mom some.
No, guess what? 50% off, $16 to $80. 15% off at chicboutique.com. Get over to Chic Boutique because listen, one of my favorite four-letter words is food and free. However, it ain't free and it ain't food. I got food coming up, but it is a nice discount. And I'll take that all day. Listen, you can look 5 years younger with just these selection of products. There are some other things you'll find in Chic Boutique, so jump in. It is cruelty-free, made in the USA, women-led. Love that. And it is just dermatologist tested. And I'm telling you, overnight, you can change your skin. Thank you, Yo-Yo. I'm glad you love that. Moisturizer.
I still want some treats. Do you have anything in the boutique for some?
In the boutique. Listen, it's time to get some Batoy. Listen, we are heading to Chicago, ladies. Since 2015, these are small batch luxury handcrafted yummies. Listen, when it comes to caramel and cheese popcorn, guess what, ladies? We know what we have seen in some of those Chicago baits. But listen, I'm going to get all up in your grill. Bite some of that. Ow. Listen.
Oh, my goodness.
It is soft. It is fresh made. When you order it, Batoy sends it right on out. These are handcrafted. Look, I have all types of treats and goodies from brownies. They come individually packaged.
Yes.
A blondie. I got look at Lonnie's face. I have a fudge brownie. Pecan. When I tell you there's different configurations, talk about a housewarming gift just because you're having a party. But Toy can change the game. These are some treats you don't want to miss out on. But Toy is unbelievable. It's a women-owned, black-owned business. She was recognized by so I want to talk with my mouth full. It's just that good. I can't.
That's
let
all right. I can call my husband. He'll love it. Baby,
Girl.
give me some of these treats. It's got sweets for you.
Oh my goodness! This caramel cheese popcorn, different configurations. It's luxury. And listen, don't you want something good in your mouth?
Oh, all the time.
Okay, these really are seriously.
I love it. We were just looking for some brownies last night. Googling where can we find brownies at night at midnight. Now we can just order it and have it at the door. Thank you.
Look at this. This is the lemon. Look how soft it is. Can you imagine with a glass of wine? This is lemon cookie. Thank you. You want some milk and cookies?
We want milk and cookies. It's been around since 2015. So this is a company that actually knows what they're doing. And they're known for bold, decadent flavors. Our first Chic Boutique segment. And you just knocked it out the park. And,
thank you. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I love it. Again, for the listeners, tell them where they can go to find everything that's in the store.
Absolutely. Go to chicboutique.com. Chicboutique.com. You'll see all the deals. These are limited time deals. These are special. Get them. Support these businesses. These are the best of the best products. Okay. I want you to enjoy. And ladies, I will see you next time with more goodies from your Chic Boutique lister, your A-lister right here. AC.
AC in the building. Woo!
Love it.
You can check out all the goodies at chicboutique.com. Chicboutique.com. This is Cafe Mocha.
Standing in solidarity from a woman's perspective. It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha with Lonnie Love, Yo-Yo, and Angelique. Rapper T. Savage, Baltimore rapper, witnessed her father's murder. Her mother ran a drug empire, and by her teens, she was fighting not just for her circumstances, but the weight of generational trauma that nearly cost her her life. Well, you know what? She was able to pull through, and now her story is coming to the big screen. The new biopic is based on Tashira's life, and it's titled Through the Eyes of the Hustler's Daughter. We are so happy to have not only T. Savage, but her mother, Shontel, on the line. Welcome to Cafe Mocha, ladies.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, goodness. So T. Savage, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm T. Savage. I'm a rapper, a mom, I'm actually one of the nicest rappers. I'm not you, Yo-Yo. I'm not legendary yet, but I'm pushing for that.
That's right.
We just coming out with this movie called Through the Eyes of a Hustler's Daughter. It just basically just talks about going through trials and coming out triumphant. And I'm happy to be putting it out there. I do a lot of work in my community with kids who I feel like were just like me. So I'm happy for kids to see this story, and it's a lot of sides of me. I'm a very private person, so this is like the first time I feel like outside of my music that the world gets to really see who I really am and things that really molded and shaped me and things that I made it over that I never really talk about.
Now, T Savage,
So yeah, I'm T Savage.
how did this come from you being legendary from Baltimore in the rap game to a biopic? Like, tell us the transition. Were you known? Was this your situation known already? Or did you have to take your story to someone to say, hey, listen, I think I have a dope story that I want to tell?
So one thing about Baltimore, we joke it and call it small Timor because it's a small city. Like, it's big when you look at it, but everybody kind of some way is connected or knows somebody some kind of way. Mm-hmm. So people who have, especially are from the real Baltimore city, they may know who I am and know a lot of things that I've been through because my mom and my dad, they were so heavy in street life. I can walk down the street and somebody can see the features in my face and be like, you Shontel daughter, you Bly's daughter. And they can tell me more stuff about me or more stuff about them that I never knew about them. But my story became more known. It was a couple years ago. My mom got chosen to do BT's American Gangster, the Trap Queen edition. When she did that, I remember being scared to talk with the interviewers just because I didn't really know what to say. I couldn't believe like this was a real thing. Like, so when we started talking, I remember they kept saying like, you talk very melodic and your story is very good. And I think that my mom kept hearing them say that majority of all the trap queens have a movie that come out after the episode. And I knew my mom was like, I already did an episode with y'all, so if I come out with something, it's gonna be through me. Like my mom, she is like a boss in every sense of the word. Like she's gonna run it no matter what. So first she was working on her story, and then I love music, and I'm not trying to like bash a lot of rappers that's out right now in my generation of rappers, but I miss the story in music. I love when people hear my music and they tell me stuff like, I can hear exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. And my mother is one of those people who put the influence of hip hop in my life. Like, she didn't care that I was a kid. You're going to listen to this Tupac record. You're going to listen to this Biggie Smalls record. You're going to hear this. So those songs kind of shaped me. My mother was still hearing my music, and she just kind of one day was like, I want to come out with your story. And BT low-key was saying it, but my mom was just like, no, if we do this, we gonna do it. Like, we gotta own it. It gotta be us. And I woke up one day and she had a production company. And then the next day she was like, I need you to sit with this writer. His name Peter Allen. He wrote Takers. Girl, he hard. And I'm just thinking he playing. And the next day I met him. And then I had wrote down a lot of stuff. Me and my dad were real close. And I had a project one time where I had to journal a lot of my experiences, and I did a lot of my mom's story, but I did a lot of stuff from my dad. So I gave him the journal and he came back with the script. And then my mom met another writer she wanted to have who was from BT, and she added, her name's Andrina, she added to the script. And before we know it, we had a full script. We were going back and forth with certain things, and then they started looking for casting, and then they started looking for location. And then we found out, okay, last month, we just wrapped up shooting. So it just kind of all happened. My mom just told me, she was just like, we're going to do this ourselves. And we did it.
Well, Shontel, let's talk about your history and who you were and, how did you get out of it? Tell us a little bit about you.
So I hate glamorizing hustling. But my story is basically my mother had AIDS, full blown. I was 14. Father was a heroin addict. We had a set out notice. And I know everybody, I was so protected of my grandmother. I didn't want her to know. She loved my mother so much. You know, she was in denial. So I love my grandmother so much I couldn't tell her. So I went in the streets to camouflage my mother's addiction and her illness. I started hustling. I was 14. I was paying the rent, car payment, gas and electric, like crazy. I would get up in the morning, go hustle, go to school, get out of school, go hustle, pay the bills. So I was like 100% deprived of my childhood. I've never had a childhood, never. And my problem was I should have stopped, but I think that fast money it really became an addiction. But I don't think I bought things because I wanted to have things. I think it was a camouflage of my pain. You know, you don't care about that stuff, but I just think I would because I had to shoot my mother up too because I didn't want her. This was actually before I found out she had AIDS. I didn't want her to go out and get dirty needles, and I couldn't stop her from getting high. So I had to get my mother high every day. And you know, I had my daughter with me as a baby, but I would take my mother upstairs, and as my daughter, demonstrated in the movie, she would come downstairs a whole different person. So, like I said, camouflaging my pain became an addiction. I would just be sick, just sick of seeing my mother. She was, oh my God, her weight was dwindling down. She died at 41 pounds. So just imagine, you being a teenager watching that. So I would just jump up and go buy Benz, or I want a Bentley today. I didn't even care about that stuff. It was just, it kept me happy for 5 minutes. And if I could get 5 minutes of happiness, then that's all I needed. But what I didn't realize is I was killing my daughter inside because I couldn't give her the time. I couldn't give her the attention. And I'm buying her everything under the sun. And I'm thinking, if I buy her, she be fine. But I had to realize she needed me. And I had took over the responsibility of being my mother's mother, an adult. So I couldn't give her me. And I watched my child, her father, he got killed, and the guy that killed him, he killed him back. They shot each other, and both of them died in front of her. And here I go once again thinking money is the root of all evil, which I know that, and I'm trying to go, let me get her a car, maybe she'll feel better, because that's all I knew. And I didn't realize that literally killed my daughter. And before I know it, she tried to commit suicide. And I think that's what made me realize, although I never learned to be a parent, I never learned. I became a parent, but I didn't have a mother to teach me how to be a parent. Everything I wanted, I bought. Everything she wanted, I bought. But I didn't realize, like, I really messed my child up. And I know, like, I see a lot of these parents, and I know you ladies do too. You see these kids and you be like, damn, he bad, or why are they doing this? Why is this generation like this? And I had to do a reality check. I know what my daughter's causing me.
So when did the change happen for you with your daughter, Shontel?
The day my mother told me, I had stopped speaking to my mother for 10 years. And when they called me, because I was just sick of it, and the money had got to my head. So they called me and said, your mother, she got like days to live. And when I went to her bedside, she asked me to do two things. She said, I need you to stop hustling, and I need you to be the mother I couldn't be. And for me to see reality, I literally walked to the door and my mother died. For me to see that she waited for me to tell me to get my life together to be a better mother, I had no other choice.
Wow.
And that was the day.
It's Cafe Mocha talking to T Savage, Baltimore rapper, and her mother, Shontel Greene. They have a new biopic based on T Savage's life. So, you made that change, Shontel. T, this biopic it's more to. It sounds like it's more than just you talking about rapping.
So the main thing is that it covers is mental health. Growing up, it basically shows like really my story. Growing up, I had my mom and my dad. They kind of had similar stories. My mom started hustling because my grandmother was getting evicted, and she was 13, 14. My dad was maybe 8 years old when he started hustling because his mom was getting evicted. Neither one of them really knew how to be a parent to me. Their biggest thing was they knew what put them in the streets. So I figured they never wanted that for me. I could never like say that I grew up not having anything because I had everything, but I never really had my parents. Um, this movie just shows how that not having your dad, not having your mom, and having to learn how to raise yourself. Like your parents can think that they saving you, but materialistic things can't save you. I tell people all the time when they say stuff like you always had everything. I'd be like, I paid a different price for it. Like for my tree to be packed at Christmas, I had to not open my gifts with my mother. There's so many things that my mother and my father like didn't get to see me do. And my father paid for it with his life. He never got to see me graduate high school or graduate college or have a daughter, or he never even got to see the relationship that me and my mother have now, because we didn't have the relationship that we have now. We didn't have that at a young age. I felt like they didn't see me for real. This movie covers a lot of that. Like my mother was saying, when I was 16, I remember it was probably a couple months after my dad died. And I just remember, like, I just kept saying, like, I don't want to live another day living. And I tried to commit suicide. And it shows the reality behind all of that. I remember when we were sitting down for the movie, I needed them to understand, like, when they were showing the mental health, the mental psych ward portions of it, that it was so many girls in there that had the smallest problems, like boys or just dumb stuff. And I just knew I didn't belong. Like what I was going through, I didn't felt like it made me crazy, but I knew that my mind wasn't right. I watched my father all the way till he couldn't breathe anymore. I watched the person that killed him until he couldn't breathe anymore. And the movie just covers those things, like getting past that. My biggest thing that I wanted to do in my whole life was graduate college. I knew, like, for my father, I was the first. And for my mother, I knew, like, that was just a dream of hers. Her real dream was to go away to college, but she had me young and she had to hustle and she had to take care of her mother. So she couldn't leave and she couldn't go away to college. Me doing those things and finally finishing, that was like, to somebody else, it could be like nothing, but it was like coming from where I'm coming from, it was everything. Because nobody really saw that for me. Even like once I lost my father and people knew that what I've been through, they expected me to stay in that spot.
Just log out. You're going to start over. Go back out and do it again.
We're talking to rapper T Savage about the childhood trauma she grew up with. And just remember, if you're struggling with trauma, depression, anxiety, or just trying to get out of bed in the morning, you can dial or text 988 and get help immediately. You're listening to Cafe Mocha.
We're at Cafe Mocha Radio. Socially savvy on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Serving up more Cafe Mocha on the way.
UNITY, that's a unity.
It's Cafe Mocha.
Cafe Mocha. We're talking to T Savage and her mom about the upcoming biopic and the hardcore trauma she went through as a kid. Both her parents were drug dealers. She watched her father get murdered, and we have her on the line right now.
Yeah, I think every day it was hard. Like even the days that was like we filmed the happy times. Like when I was younger, my grandmother that my mom is speaking about, well, for me, she's my great grandmother, the one that she said she was hiding her mother's addiction from. She was like, she was my everything. She was like the one person, like the same way my mom would say that she had to hide that her mother was getting high. I would hide from her that my mother was in jail. I remember like they locked my mom up. We was in an apartment complex, and I didn't want my grandmother to know because she was like, outside of me, my mother was her favorite one. Like she loved my mother. So it's like I could never break her heart and tell her, that my mother was in jail. So I would get up every day and go to school. And I was really small. I mean, I'm walking blocks to school.
7.
And to see her
Cooking her own food, putting her
like
own
I
clothes
would
on
just
and
do
going to school.
everything. Like I learned how to iron. I learned how to make my own breakfast. And my neighborhood, like my mother, it's not a block in my neighborhood. Well, not now, but during the 90s, it's not a block in my neighborhood where it was a person that just didn't know who my mother was or didn't know who I was or know who my grandmother was. So I knew I could get to school safely. The scariest thing was walking past my grandmother's house. So when I see the scenes where it's a woman and she's playing my grandmother, and I remember that hairstyle, and I remember how stern she was. My grandmother, she was the sweetest person in the world, but she was the meanest person in the world at the same time. But it just brought tears like to my eyes, just, knowing that I don't have that anymore. And my dad, that was the closest person to me. That was my best friend. So when they did the scene of the night that I saw my father get killed, I remember I couldn't sit on the block, and even just listening to the gunshots, it just all brought back memories of like the last night that I was with my father. Um, it's some scenes in there that they even captured things that happened to my friends and happened to their dads, and just a lot of loss that I just had to relive. Like sometimes they say therapy does help, but sometimes it makes you revisit things that you wish never happened. And I think that's a lot of times why I would stop going to therapy, because I had a therapist tell me that she didn't know how to help me before. Like she said, I never dealt with anybody that has been through what you've been through, and I honestly don't know how to help you. And then you hear that like before, feeling like you somebody who can't be helped. It's hard to relive it. So like every day, I'm actually scared to see the finished product, because I know that's when I have to sit there and go face forward and watch it all. During the movie, it was certain parts where the guy, he looked so much like my father. It was just a small moments, where you feel like you could get that back. But when shooting is over, it's the reality is, those people gone forever.
I just want to give you a hug. I definitely, I'm intrigued to hear your story.
I mean, and it's important that all stories are told. So I want to commend you, ladies, because
yes,
there's so many people that are going through things and they need to have these stories. When I was on the reel, I would always share about growing up in the projects. And I did that because I wanted that child that maybe was in the projects that's probably looking at TV to know that they could get out. And that's why your story, T and Shontel, is so important to tell, because you've gotten somewhat out. The last question I have for both of you is, what do you want people to get out of this movie? We'll start with you, T.
That you can make it through anything. I'm not. I tell people all the time, like anything that I've done pertaining to this movie, when I've done other interviews, I tell people all the time, like, I'm not perfect, but I just keep trying no matter what. I know what I have behind me. Like, it's like my dying thing that I got to do is I got to make my mother proud. I got to make her realize, like, everything that she did, it wasn't in vain. And I don't get to get that hand clap or that pat on the back from my dad. And it's just like, I got to let him know, like, you ain't die for nothing, Like, it was a reason for all of this. That's why, like, when I graduated from college last year, and when I walked across the stage, it was just, I remember when I posted it on social media and seeing girls that was from my hood. Like, one thing I always say when I rap is I rap for real chicks. And to see those girls, like, comment and tell me, like, yo, you made me feel like I could do it, or you made me enroll in school.
It's good. You using your platform for good. Shontel, what do you want people to get out of this film?
Basically, children learn what they live, and as parents, we play a major role in either the breakdown or the success of our kids. And my story, it was almost too late, but we made it. And I just pray every day that life get better for us.
the beauty
Yeah.
of being able to tell a story such as this that's so emotional, so raw and so real to a community of viewers who are experiencing similar situations and not having that voice. I mean, it's very courageous. And I cannot wait to watch your story, your biopic. Cannot wait to meet you, T, and your mom. And we're so happy you decided to come on and share with our listeners so that we can make sure that our viewers, can tune in. Yes, I'm excited.
And I want to echo what Yo-Yo is saying, especially as women and as Black women. We don't necessarily get to share our stories. And some people, are ashamed of what they've done. But you ladies have come through. And so, it's going to take more therapy. It's going to take more thought, more time. Don't be hard on yourself, T.
Tell us.
What? I'm a doctor.
What?
Not honorary. I had my DNP. I'm a nurse practitioner.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
And we graduated 2 weeks
We graduated
ago.
like a month apart.
A month apart.
Yep.
Praise God.
Ladies. This
Praise
is
God.
the reason why we have Cafe Mocha, to share stories of resilience, especially for our sisters in our community. You are going to be such a bright light, T Savage. And, like I said, we can't wait to meet you and rock with you. And, you and Yo-Yo could do,
yes, my name is Yo-Yo.
Okay. Don't play with my Yo-Yo.
That's right.
She needs some young energy.
I do. Listen, I want to hear her storytelling, and she's, I can just tell from the depth of your conversation. I definitely want to listen to you. I'm definitely going to Google you. I'm definitely going to look you up. I'm definitely going to find you on social media. I just think it's amazing, and to have your mother by your side, and to have a victorious outcome at the end. I mean, to come full circle. So this is something to rejoice about. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the biopic. I'm excited that you get to tell your story and victory wins.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And the name of the biopic is Through the Eyes of the Hustler's Daughter. We've been talking to Baltimore rapper T Savage and her mother, Shontel Greene. Thank you, ladies, for stepping in the cafe.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So dope.
Rapper T Savage and her mom, Shontel. The upcoming biopic is called Through the Eyes of a Hustler's Daughter, Healing from Childhood Trauma. This is Mental Health Month, and the stats for Black Americans aren't good, aren't surprising. We're less likely to report having a mental health problem. We're less likely to get help for that trauma, that anxiety, that depression. Scarier is that Black high school kids are more likely to report a suicide attempt. Ain't no shame in getting help. We're going to talk about some of the resources coming up.
Here's your dose of espresso. Strong, hot news now.
This is the Espresso. Vivica Fox literally looks like a monster in the new film Is God Is. While doing the press tour, she talked about aging.
Life changes. The body changes. And you're not going to be the same size that you were when you were 19, 20 years old. But people forget that sometimes, and they can say very mean things. And so if you don't listen to the chatterbox and stay true to who you are and love who you are, it can destroy you.
Aging beautifully is Lynn Whitfield, who will be seeking revenge as Alicia in the final season of The Chi.
I never think first, let me seek revenge. I deal with hurt. I call the psychologist to explore the psyche of a woman who says, I'm not going to sit with this pain. I'm going to make them pay. That's a very dark place to be.
The final season of The Chi, currently streaming on Paramount Plus. They shut down the Showtime app, so you can only see it on Paramount Plus. New episodes of The Chi Wednesday nights. That's the Espresso.
UNITY, UNITY, that's a unity.
It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha with Lonnie Love, Yo-Yo, and Angelique on the line. May is not only Mental Health Awareness Month, It's also the 10th anniversary of the wonderful organization Silence the Shame, and we have entertainment industry veteran Shanti Das with us. Oh, Shanti, Silence the Shame. Mental health.
Industry legend. She is such an industry legend who has come into the game, created so much hype around a lot of hip hop legends and iconic figures. And when she came out with Silence the Shame, she has done some amazing things. Welcome to Cafe Mocha. Tell us about Silence the Shame.
Thank you. Thank you, Yo-Yo. Thank you, Lonnie Love and the whole team at Cafe Mocha. It's great to be reconnected with y'all. So this is our 10-year anniversary. I'm going to give you a quick little reason why I started it and where we're at. So as you mentioned, Yo-Yo, I used to work in the music business for almost 25 years and had a great run. But my dad died by suicide, y'all, when I was just 7 months old. And I had, 2 siblings at the time. So my mom, he didn't leave a note. We didn't know what happened or why. So we didn't talk about it. We just hid and buried the feelings and would give all other kind of excuses as to why my father passed away, but never once said he took his own life when we were younger. So fast forward, I had this great career in music, but as I started dealing with my own level of stress and anxiety, not having dealt with my dad's suicide, those ugly feelings and unfamiliar thoughts and feelings start rearing their head. And so long story short, I was at the height of my career in music, EVP of marketing at Universal, working under Sylvia Rhone. And I quit in 2010 and walked away because I needed to take care of my own mental and physical health challenges. And my mother was getting Alzheimer's. So it was just a lot going on. Then fast forward to 2014, when I was back home in Atlanta, I was still doing a little bit of music stuff, started ATL Live, a music showcase here. And then my best friend took her own life the same way that my dad did in 2014. So that kind of sent me on a downward spiral. And then in 2015, I almost took my own life. So that's why I decided to silence my own shame, get the help that I needed from my pastor, who happens to be Senator Warnock, and my sister. And she convinced me to call the Suicide Lifeline that night. Now you can just dial 988. But more importantly, I got the help that I needed. And then I just started talking about it. And this was pre-pandemic, as you know, before a lot of people in our community, especially in entertainment, was really talking about mental health. And so I reached back into my toolbox and got a lot of my friends. Yo-Yo, you've supported us in the past. My good friend Tisha Campbell, Johnny Gill, Big Boy, Usher. So many people have tweeted or posted about us back when we ended up getting our own day. So May 5th was National Silence the Shame Day. And so we were excited to celebrate that again this year.
We're talking to Shanti Das, who's dedicated her life to silencing the shame associated with mental health struggles. If you need tools or resources, go to silencetheshame.com. This is Cafe Mocha.
Want a little more of our flavor? Stay right there. It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha. There is no shame in struggling with your mental health. We're talking to Shanti Das, who's dedicated her life to silencing the shame. Let's get back to it.
But more importantly, y'all, I feel like we've been able to save lives. We have a lot of programs. It's a national nonprofit. A lot of our programs do happen in Atlanta because that's where a lot of our funding comes from in Georgia. But we've done partnerships with Jack and Jill nationally, the NFL Players Association, the Home Depot Backyard, Sony Music Publishing. My good dear friend John Platt, who's the chairman over there, gave us some grant money, and we created what's called the soundtrack of mental health. And so we did trainings to help people in the creative industry get mental health support. And we want to do more in film and in sports. So I got clever names for those too. We're just trying to work on the funding for that. So I know that was a lot, but Yo-Yo, you know me and you know my story, but Lonnie, I really wanted you to know why this is so personal and important to me.
Wow. Thank you for that. What is it that Silence the Shame is trying to accomplish?
So we're in year 10, and we've been able to impact millions online, but more importantly, hundreds of thousands of people where we have pushed them towards the resources. We're trying to erase stigma, Lonnie, and we're trying to reduce suicide rates. We've seen suicide rates increase, particularly amongst Black youth over the last 2 decades by 30%. And so that's a problem. And even though I feel like our younger generation is more open to talking about mental health, not all of them are healing or getting the support that they need. So we curate these programs, wellness trainings to really just like meet people where they're at. We have a youth advisory council, and it's so important when you think about youth. Sometimes they like, I don't want to tell my mom, I don't want to tell auntie, but they'll talk amongst themselves. And so we feel like if we can train them, equip them with the healthy coping skills that they need, encourage them to continue to get help, not just when something is wrong, that they can have these healthy lifestyles and go on to college and thrive and get these great jobs. And we also train the parents, because you can't train the kids and then you go home and there's still a lot of stigma in the household. Mm-hmm. So we have parent cafes, we have a parent advisory council, and then we have this college program that I'm really proud of that my executive director, Jewel Gooden, put together. So it's a 6-month leadership training program, and we just graduated 20 students about a week ago. But we have now graduated 7 students in the Silence to Shame University program. And so we want to scale this, Lonnie, and take it to campuses across the country, not just in Georgia. We also have a lot of great content that's on our YouTube channel. So if you go into Silence to Shame TV, you will see us in the community, panel discussions, trainings we've done, daily affirmations. We do a lot of stuff like that. Follow us on Instagram at Silence to Shame. And again, this is our 10-year anniversary. We just recently went through some funding cuts because it's, as y'all know, so much going on in the country. Mm-hmm. So, our 501c3. We're squeaky clean with the books, y'all. So you donate, it's 100% tax deductible. You can support our organization by donating at silencetoshame.com, or you can text the word silence, SILENCE, to 707070.
And it's the 10th anniversary. So there is a 10 for 10 campaign in honor of it. And we're asking our supporters and listeners to donate $10 and invite 10 friends to do the same. Now, I know you only got 5 friends, Yo-Yo, but I can get some more for you.
Very difficult topic today, but so important. A lot of us started dealing with trauma at a very young age. We witnessed and started navigating problems no kid should have to. And we carry it all through adulthood. But shows like today just make me realize that, none of us are alone in what we're going through. So if you need to reach out, go to silencetheshame.com. And if you or someone you know is having a full meltdown, you can dial or text 988. That's the show. You can find us on all platforms at Cafe Mocha Radio. Cafe Mocha is a production of Miles Ahead Broadcasting in partnership with Super Radio. Executive producer Sheila Eldridge. For comments, booking, or more information, visit cafemocharadio.com.